Never ever in history has it been a better time than right now to start a business. Never ever in the history of mankind has it been a better time to start a business than right now. Never ever in history has it been a realistic possibility that you can create a business in your 20s and that could be $1 million business by the time you're 30 years old. Never has there ever been the possibility until right now where somebody could start a business in their 20s and possibly be a billionaire by age 30. Never ever in the history of mankind have these things been able to happen. Never has it been easier to start a small business, build that small business into a mid-sized business, build that mid-sized business into a big business. Never ever in history has it been so easy. Tell me another time, ever in the history of mankind, when I could start, let's say I want to start a company where I make iPad holders. This is an iPad holder. Let's say I'm like, this isn't that good a quality. This is kind of cheap. I'm going to make a quality one that's like this kind of, but I want to make a really good quality one. Whenever in history could I have found a company, multiple companies, looked at reviews of multiple companies, even if they're not in my country, looking all over the world, within a 5 or 10 minute span, send them a message on there, an email or whatever. They get back to me within a half hour, tell me about their product. I ask them, I say, hey, I want this. I can email over a picture of the dimensions I want. They look at that. They say, yes, we can do that. No, we cannot do that. They say, yes, we can do that. Send that message back to me. I say, okay, how much will it cost me? I need these in 2 weeks. I want 10,000 of them. How much is that going to run me? We'll run you this rate. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we just need you to send the money over. Send the money over, PayPal, whatever transaction. They have it within 24 hours. They begin producing those within 48 hours after I initially looked into the company. When has it ever been that easy, ever in history? 50 years ago. 50 years ago, how would you have started that business? Well, iPads weren't around back then, so it's kind of an unrealistic example. Let's say you want to sell keychains back then or something. Maybe that was like the thing 50 years ago. So you want to start this keychain company, right? How would you have gone about to do that? How hard would that have been? One, unless the keychain manufacturing company happened to be located inside your town, you're going to need to do a ridiculous amount of research and looking into this and trying to make connections here and there just to know the phone number of a keychain manufacturing company. You're going to need to try to build so many connections, try to get to know so many people to finally even get in front of them. Then they're probably going to be located, who knows, maybe they're in your country and you have to send them a letter all the way across the United States, or maybe you give them a phone call. And then you guys go through this long process where you have to mail them, okay, here's the dimensions of the keychain I want. Mail it all the way across the United States. They look at it. They maybe can do it, probably can't do it because technologies aren't that good back then. They send it back to you. They probably can't do it. Let's say they can do it. Then you have to send them another letter back or make a phone call. Okay, how many units can you get me in such and such amount of time? How long will it take to ship them to me? All this process, and then you got to actually physically mail them a check. They got to actually deposit that check. It takes multiple business days. Holy smokes, guys, this would be like months and months in the making to even, if you want to get this company off the ground, and think about how much of a pain in the ass that is to even get it off the ground, right? Then you got to try to get into retailers and go retailer to retailer, and oh my gosh, what a messy disaster that is. Compared to now, I can have these all in my hands, all my little iPad holders I got built from some company in China or Bangladesh or wherever. Have them all in my hands within, let's say, 2 week span, maybe 3 week span after I started the process. And then I can start my own online business right on a website. I could create that the same day I was contacting them, have that up and running. I can drive traffic from social media. All these social media networks didn't exist, 10 years ago? Now these social media networks are the engine of business, are the engine of marketing in the future. Never in history could I market, let's say, I think these are going to sell really good to 25 to 45-year-old women. Never could I have done that and picked out specific zip codes where those women live and where they're actually live in, their Facebook world and YouTube and what type of interest they're in. Never could I have marketed that specifically. 50 years ago, what would I have done? I had to send letters house to house, and holy smoke, could you imagine the cost of that? It would have been so unrealistic. And then I'm not even getting my target market in there. I could also, nowadays, I could pay a tech influencer who's got 100,000 subscribers on YouTube or 500,000 followers on Instagram, pay them to put my product in their picture or video or whatever for, say, $500, and it's seen by tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people. Could you imagine the value of that? Never, guys, never ever has this opportunity existed. Never ever could a 26-year-old named Jeremy have started 2 businesses, and by 2007, by the next year when he's 27 years old, he has 2 businesses that each could provide for his family if he didn't even have the other business. Never would that have been realistic any other time in history than right now, guys. Never. The opportunities are abundant, And you take into this account, it's never been a better time to start a business, and it's probably never been a worse time to be an employee. Wages have gone almost nowhere for the longest time, guys. It's probably one of the worst times ever in history to be an employee. It really is. You have way too many employees. You don't have nearly enough business starters. So right now, the ball is in business starters' court. The advantage is so far in the business company's hands, it's ridiculous, guys. And this is one of the reasons why business profits are at all-time highs, the highest they've ever been as a percent of GDP, because right now, the advantage is to the business owners, and that's the bottom line. When more employees decide they're going to provide for themselves and not just get a check every day, they're going to provide for themselves, start a business, that takes less employees out of that employee pool, which then makes the employee pool more valuable because the business owners need to hire from this employee pool if they want to build their business into a mid-sized business or from a mid-sized to a big business. They need to hire from this pool. And as this pool gets smaller and smaller, what happens? Wages have to go up and up. And then slowly but surely the advantage starts to come to the employees because they're not taking any risk, but they're making really good amounts of money and things like that. So then all of a sudden the advantage comes over here. But right now, this side is at a total disadvantage. This side is at a huge advantage. Never, guys, has it been easier to start a business. Whenever in history, other than maybe the last 10, 15 years, could I have had no clue about how to get a business license in the state of New York? And within a 5-minute span on this device, I know exactly how to get a business license in the state of New York. I know, I need to go here, I need to fill out this form, all within a 5-minute span, guys. When could I have done that 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago? I couldn't have. I would have needed to try to go to the government office and stand in line for 3 hours and try to speak to somebody, and then they probably send me to somebody else, and then they send me to somebody else, and oh my gosh, it would have been a disaster. Now I can get that info like in the snap of a finger. It's mind-blowing to me, the opportunity out there, guys. It's the opportunity out there, it's never existed before. The amount of people you can get in front of and social media, it's incredible. I mean, think about YouTube advertising. Advertisers you can pay 4 or 5 cents a click, and you don't even have to pay for that advertisement unless somebody actually watches at least 15 seconds of it. When is an opportunity like that where you can get in front of somebody, show them your product or service for 4 or 5 cents a click, guys? Holy smokes, it's amazing to me. It's really amazing to me. It's mind-blowing. So if you're in a situation right now in your life where you're an employee, you're making crappy wages, your number one focus in pretty much your life, and especially in your professional life, needs to be, how do I go from an employee to a business owner? How do I make it practical? How do I need to save money? If I can save money, how do I do these things? Because you need to get on this side. There's no reason for it. If you have, let's say, a great job, then I would still suggest you get another income of some kind, because when the recession comes, and it will come, I don't think it will come in 2017, but it will come. We all know it's coming eventually, right? Everything can't stay great forever. Then a recession comes, massive jobs are lost. If you're one of those people that loses their job, you don't have another income source. What do you do in that situation? So everybody should be trying to create some side hustle, some kind of side hustle, regardless of what it is. But if you're making $8.50 an hour, $10.50 an hour, you need to absolutely focus on getting over to this side and thinking about, what can I do? And I don't want to hear excuses like, I don't know how to start a business. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. There's a great website I want you guys to go to. A great website. Get your pens out. Get your paper out. google.com. Google.com. Type in your question, and you're going to have a massive, beautiful amount of results, guys. A massive, beautiful amount of results. It's going to be right there in front of you. Right there in front of you, your answer. I get people on this channel all the time that ask questions like, how do I open up a brokerage account or things like that? Go to Google. Go to Google. It will educate you all you need to know. People say, you know, well, what are some business tips? A channel like mine, we got 8,000 business tips on this channel. Go to a channel like Gary Vaynerchuck. He's like a business expert. You can watch his channels and get motivated, and he gives away so many great marketing tips on his channel. It's mind-blowing to me how easy it is, just that people don't either want it that bad or they just don't realize how easy it is out there to do it. They just don't realize it, guys. It takes some work, absolutely, but I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a lot easier nowadays to do it right through here than it was to go walking house to house to do it and try to make connections here just to figure out how to do it, guys. It's never been easier in history. Now's the time to start a business if you have not already. If you're in a decent job and you're like, oh, I'm doing decent, find a side hustle business you can do on the side. Find another income. I'm telling you, it's the opportunity of a lifetime, and you don't want to let this pass you. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day. By the way, this is actually the second time I've recorded this video. The first time I recorded a few days ago, I thought it came across as way too harsh and way too aggressive on the video. And I felt like I wasn't being inspirational enough. I was just trying to beat things into people's heads. So I actually recorded that entire video, edited that entire video, uploaded that onto YouTube, tag titled it, everything, had it ready to release tomorrow. And then I was like, I didn't like the way I came across in the video. So I actually redid the whole video today. And I just want you guys to know that it was a lot of work. It's like hours and hours of wasted time that I can't get back, but I think it was worth it because I hope this video was very inspirational to you guys and really opened up your minds. Thank you.